Welcome back to the Irish Goodbye. I'm Shane. He's Jason. We've got another special episode this week. This one will hopefully not cause any. Well, no, it's going to cause some problems with some people because we're going to get on people's cases. So this
Hopefully
week,
fewer problems than
that's
before.
certainly. Uh, this week, we're going to do the league diagnosis, being the medical doctors that we are. We're going to look at each of the teams, what's going on as we approach the playoffs, and what people need to do or don't need to do in order to find themselves in it. So Jason, as I looked at the league, I saw three distinct groups that exist in this league this year. At the top, we have our fully healthy. These are the guys who have performed all year. All you have to do is look at their top six finishes over the year. And in 13 weeks, these four teams, three of them have 10 top six, and one of them has 11. Odd that the person who has 11 is in third place right now, but just how the chips fall sometimes. But the fully healthy teams are Points of Latte Half Calf, Superb Owls, Troll Tolls, the Chinese Waving Cats, who also all conveniently have a star next to their name right now. And so we'll talk about them kind of separately. We'll talk about each of these groups separately as we kind of go through the episode today. Then we've got battling through injury. These are the teams that have either found ways to win or found ways to lose, according to what week it is and where we are in the season. But this is the majority of the league. This is the Cardinals, Clatankerous, Malcolm Death Squad, Bottom of the Barrel, Fat Guy in a Little End Zone, and Barenaked Hades. And Barenaked Hades is a just barely in there, but he is in fact in there, and so good for him because he has been really battling through it and has put himself in a position to at least be part of this group, which is really a big win from where he started the season off. And then we have our IR teams.
Yeah, more like IR, designated to not return. Am I
right? And this will be the draft day champions and Mad Dogs who, sorry guys, we're going to talk very little about you because there's not much to talk about with your teams. So, looking at fully healthy. So as we kind of go through these groups and kind of look at each one, we'll look at what their matchups are for next week, what they mean, what they need to do in order to secure their playoff spots. Remember that the number one spot does get a bye in the first week of the playoffs. It's the only spot this year that's going to get that bye, so a little bit of a change there. So only two teams are fighting for that right now. But before we kind of get into that, the one thing I did want to say, and I don't know if you noticed this, Jason, but if you look up and down the matchups for next week, of the three groups that I created there, we don't have any teams that are playing against each other from the same group, except the Cardinals and the Barenaked Hades. And you could really argue,
and that's
it's a relatively
extremes,
right? And it's an inconsequential game as far as that's concerned, because if the Barenaked Hades, and again we'll get into this when we get into the matchups and everything there, but if Barenaked Hades wins that game, gets the extra point, I'm going to be rooting for the same teams to lose that he is. So it's almost like it's not. So all of these games, nobody is going against somebody that they're going to be able to jump a spot or anything.
Yeah.
Everyone is in a different cat, which is wild given how big that middle group is. That happens. So anyway, let's start with our current first place team, Points Latte Half Calf. Obviously, being 2 points above the Superb Owls right now, they control their own destiny. They have got Bottom of the Barrel this week. A team that just has been incredibly weak recently and just kind of fallen off a cliff.
Really fell off.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's
I mean,
he's
it's
got
got some good projections, but
Kittle and CMC that are on bye
oh
too.
man,
So
I mentioned this earlier, and how I mean, for those of us who are not you and I guess, how poetic would it be that CMC being on bye on a week where we want / need bottom of the barrel to lose, and CMC being on bye contributes to him upsetting Points Latte. How poetic would that be, for that to be the end to? I mean, not yours, but if he were to win and I were to, or if he were to win and I were to lose, um, then that would be CMC would be destroying me yet again. I'm just gonna, laying it out there. So, let's hope that doesn't happen. But it's interesting the twists and turns that the season will take that leads you to this point. But it's the projections are weird. I mean, Points Latte hasn't even updated their lineup yet. They don't have another tight end currently, it appears. But it's
find
gonna
someone,
once the projections get shifted, then could be a close game. I think some of it depends on Amon-Ra coming back.
And Herbert just had
Thursday
surgery
game
this week.
Yeah, it's an interesting. It's his non-throwing hand. So what's he gonna do?
Right.
It's some question marks. That would normally not be the case at all in this game. But obviously, bottom of the barrel is hoping to regain some of their early season steam, and try to take things into their own hands here, and squeeze their way into the playoffs.
So just to wrap a bow on Points Latte, because we don't need to go into him too much, and really the fully healthy, we probably won't go a ton into them because they're pretty safe there. And after these first two, there's no chance for anyone to take over first place. It's between Superb Owls and Points Latte Half Calf. So Points Latte Half Calf obviously gets the first seed with a win. Do they just need a win? Yeah, they just need a win. If they get the win, they get the first seed. They don't even need a top 6 finish. If they get the top 6 finish but not a win, then they need to make sure that Superb Owls doesn't get a top 6 finish.
Or loses. Yeah.
No, because if they win and get the top 6 finish, they'll tie, and the Heat needs 122 points ahead of him. That's not going to get eclipsed this week.
It would have to be some an impossible game.
Right, ridiculous. And for Points Latte Half Calf to get a top 6 finish and to lose by 122 points is unlikely. But yeah. So then kind of sneaking down to Superb Owls. The only way he is going to, and honestly, he's got a pretty juicy matchup there, given what Mad Dogs has been doing. But just looking at who's on his bench, he's got okay. So yeah. He's looking pretty good there. But in order for him to take that first spot, he really Points Latte can't win. And in reality, I think
he probably has
to be comfortable. Yeah, he needs to get all 4 points.
It's interesting because Super Brawls has, and again, not updated right now. This past week he was bad, but previously had been a pretty good slot in. Tracy, he doesn't have. He's in the flex, so he'd have to be slotting in one of various cast off wide receivers or Schultz. But it's interesting. I mean, Mad Dogs. You look at Mad Dogs' team, and you're like, man, this team should have won more games. But then you look at his average points, and Yeah, it's some bad luck, some late injuries and like it lineup and just awful season from Lamar. It affected Henry, like just but averaging under 100 points for the season is it's pretty rough.
Yeah, no, it's
pretty rough.
Yeah, it's not good.
I mean, and to have he has the same amount of top 6 finishes as I do.
I mean, again, I think that's the thing,
you
and
know.
I mentioned in the Discord though that shocked me to see that Pat only had the one with Yahoo having picked him as the draft day champion, and him anointing himself as such. But
may as well, I've seen enough. Let's make a dozen more data centers for this peerless AI that will surely be leading us towards better days.
And so then just jumping down and looking at Troll Tolls and Chinese Waving Cats real quickly, because the thing with them is theirs is completely seeding. And so while interesting, it's really going to matter where everyone else shakes out at the bottom, kind of which seed you want. So I think that I don't even think that that's necessarily going to be in all honesty, the way that my teams performed, you might want to be playing me. If bottom of the barrel sneaks in, you might want to be playing him. Clitankerous with the wild swings that he's had, like he might be a guy you want to go against. I mean, maybe it doesn't matter. But for Troll Tolls, they have a possibility of being the second, third, or fourth seed, depending how things shake out. Whereas Chinese Waving Cats can be either the third or the fourth. It's not. There's not much movement. In fact, who's Ken playing this week? Is he playing?
Me.
Oh, he's playing you. I would have just told Ken not to pay attention. Now I'm going to tell him he probably should pay attention.
Honestly, Ken, don't listen to him.
But
Ken.
this game does not matter for Ken, really. Like it does not.
No, no.
It's bragging rights entirely. I would say based off of how the Troll Tolls have been playing, I would say it's unlikely that it's going to matter much.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at the match. I just am stunned by the weekly projections for the Troll Tolls.
Well, on this week,
basis,
we've gotten on Yahoo for loving Brian's team and not having it produced, but now past couple weeks since we've been off the air, maybe it's not being on the air. If he lays a dud this week, he's going to ask us to stop. He's going to request it. I think, and then we're gonna do it even harder.
All I have to say is, if that's what happens, then it's just a little bit of justice for Clitankerous. Is all I got to say about that. And wouldn't that be a just a serendipitous event if Clitankerous were to win this game, like launch himself without doubt into the playoffs by beating the Troll Tolls, the gentleman's agreement Troll Tolls. Wouldn't that be something? I mean, not to open up old wounds or anything, but you got to think that he's thinking about it.
Well, absolutely, especially I mean, because things did not get good for Clitankerous after that happened. So
no, but he stuck around. He made some changes. His guys kept producing. He spent a lot of dollars on Devin Neal, who has really good matchups coming up, even this week. It seems that as of right now, he's rolling with Gainwell over Neal, even though he spent all that money. Maybe he just hasn't slotted him in yet, but it's hard to say. But it should be an interesting one. I mean, I hope it's an interesting one, because this past week was a complete and utter scorched earth destruction by Troll Tolls. So
just really quickly, wanted to look at, before we go to the battling through injury group there, wanted to look at where we are, because we have the interesting point system, which we've used to kind of even things out a little bit, and just wanted to see where we were based off of that and based off of our rankings right now,
Mm-hmm.
and compare those up really quickly. So let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, all the same. 5.
Yep. 5.
You have been hurt by it.
Yep. Flipped with Clitanchus. I should be clinched right now.
Well, that's the other thing I was going to say is, yeah, it would be this next week would mean little to nothing.
Pretty much.
If we didn't have our point system, because we'd have 6 spots clinched already. And there wouldn't be as much chance for movement.
Yep.
So you and Clitanchus are flipped. Then bottom of the barrel at 8, Fat Guy 9, Barenaked Hades 10. Okay, so we're completely lined up except you and Clitanchus are flipped. And we have a little bit more drama. I got to be honest with you. I think it's an argument for this is a good system. It's a fair system. And I think if you kind of look at in general point totals, and I was going to say that like that the troll tolls have kind of hit some rough luck, and they did hit rough luck.
They did.
But it wouldn't have shaken out really any differently, except that they have a chance to get the second seed.
Yep.
So the fact that
which they wouldn't have otherwise.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And so the fact that we take those top 6s into account, that's put them into play for that second seed. So I do think that's a fair and accurate way of kind of judging the parity of the league and such.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, that's nice to see that we've got a pretty solid system here, even with our that's 2 weeks of rivalry weeks, which have the additional points. So even that isn't swinging it crazy. It's keeping things close. It's keeping things competitive, and it's making the league. I would argue making the league more fun because I'm more engaged right now with how close it is. And it's fun.
Yeah, I mean, even I like on the days where there's even nothing to do, like roster wise, I find myself staring at my lineup and silently cursing each and every player on the list. And
maybe if you were giving them positive affirmations, it would help.
Well, honestly, I tried that before, specifically to Saquon Barkley, and I've tried to be the gentle parent to him, and it is not working. The coddling is not working, so I will be getting much more stern. We'll be talking about consequences, talking about responsibility. I will be taking away his electronic devices until he performs, which hopefully is this week.
Probably should have taken away Abdul Carter's electronic device, huh?
Oh man, or at least taught him how to use Bluetooth headphones.
All right. Anyway, let's move down to battling through injury. So that's going to bring us up to we'll go a little bit more in depth into these people's matchups, just because I think that there's a little bit more to talk about, a little bit more to care about at this point, which might bring in some of our fully healthy people. But yeah. So the first one up is the Cardinals and Barenaked Hades, and like I said, the only one playing in the same group, which actually makes this exercise a little bit easier because we don't have to worry about people playing each other and saying, well, if they both win, well, they both can't win.
Yep.
Because everyone in this section can win except for Barenaked Hades and Cardinals. But again, like I said, the interesting part is if Barenaked Hades wins, that's going to matter for seeding for the Cardinals, and the Cardinals are rooting against the same people that the Barenaked Hades will be, so the Barenaked Hades can actually make the playoffs, which is still
it is possible.
Yeah,
they could. So either with a regular, if Hades is basically has to win and get top 6,
right? Then he needs to have the bottom of the barrel has to lose, Fat Guy in a little end zone has to lose, and you have to lose.
Yep, and he already has more points, assuming that the points stay, unless I score a bunch of points and somehow don't end up but that would be extraordinary.
Unlikely,
so,
right?
I mean, honestly, as I have been saying on the podcast, I at no point counted out Barenaked Hades, and here they are.
So, quick question too with that, and then I want to look at our matchup because honestly, this is one of the worst matchups of the week. Um, there's a very good chance that Barenaked Hades absolutely cleans the floor with me, because I've got I don't know
I mean,
how I'm in
I don't
this
know.
position I'm in right now is amazing because I look at my team and I'm like, this team is not good. Like,
I don't know. You had some good games when you needed them.
that's
The
right. I mean, it's just,
trade
yeah,
the trade for Brown has paid
Brown.
off.
Also, too, just really quickly in that trade. So I've had Brown for 4 weeks, I believe.
Mhm.
So in the 4 weeks that I've had Brown, I believe that Jamar Chase has scored like a total of like 24 points.
Yep. And he
And
missed a week.
right, well, that's that
Yeah.
with that week, and there was a bye week
Yep.
too.
Yep.
There were 2 weeks he didn't play, and then so 24 total points. And AJ Brown has, doing quick math right now,
Like
60,
70.
75 points roughly. So it ended up being
There you
that
go.
I got draft capital and
That's
the
the
better
season.
player for the past 4
Yeah.
weeks. So
Yep.
pretty
I
exciting.
mean, some big weeks from you had some good matchups and big numbers. I see that you've slotted in X Death Squad Tony Pollard this week.
Yep.
So you know, uh,
Pretty sure he's going to run, and it's not good against the Cleveland Browns. Like, it's
well,
there's just
you never
nothing.
know.
There's nothing positive. But that being said, you know, so my possible outcomes are 5 to 8. I could be in, and so I think a lot has to shake out for me to end up in 8.
Yes.
And it has to go
I mean,
real
you'd have to
bad.
lose for sure. Yeah, I mean, you'd have to lose, and then if I win and you lose, and then also Clitankers
Cliffhangers would
loses,
only have to score the 1.
or even or get a top 6. I mean, if you were to lose and get a top 6 finish, you would be in. Correct?
Bottom of the barrel does have to. Bottom of the barrel would have to score. Would have to win. Would have to get a top 6, and would have to have 17 points more than me.
Right, which is not out of the realm of possibility.
No, but I would think
it's a pretty tight window for you to not make it.
So
quite tight.
Fat Guy in a Little End Zone is not rooting for any of those possibilities of me being an 8.
No,
because that ends poorly for him. Although, and then Barenaked Hades, same thing. Like, Ross wants to beat me, but then have everyone again that I want to have lose to allow me into it.
Yep.
To be there. So yeah, it's a delicate balance there. But so that one, in all honesty, this game's not that interesting because it really all the other games are what's going to decide what happens with what the outcome of this game is.
Yes, that is correct.
Whether or not it's consequential or not. Ross could beat me, and still end up finding himself on the outside looking in. So that means that we should move over to, let's go to Clitankerus's game, which we already talked about a little bit.
Yeah.
Did we talk? No, we didn't talk about it.
We did,
like
because it was a Troll Tools game.
Yeah. So Clitankerus has a range of 5th to 8th as well, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he can slip. No, he can't slip down.
He cannot get in.
No. So he's another 5th to 8th. So he's another interesting one too. That really, this game's
matchup is really tough,
right? But this game's also sort of super boring. Like, I mean, like, just as far as the playoff implications are concerned, because
it's basically yours.
Yeah,
except he's not playing against one of the middle tier.
Right. So Brian's going for, that second seed, and also Brian probably wants it, but also who cares? And also, again, I'm going to argue, if that second seed ends up having to play Barenaked Hades, I don't know how good you feel about that.
I don't think you want to do that.
Right. Because again, we forgot to mention, I lucked out with Barenaked Hades. I don't have to play the Patriots. So
that's correct. No Drake May
Henderson.
Or Henderson, who is just finally finding his footing.
Yep.
I didn't even see how he did yesterday, but that game was bad. So
yeah, Platankerous, Troll Tolls. Again, I think there are other games that are going to be a little bit more important. Which, speaking of, Malcolm Death Squad. So this is when we start to get real interesting, because we start to have the possibility of falling into
collapse.
Right.
That's what we're discussing here.
Yeah, possibly being in the consolation bracket.
Yeah.
And so,
gotta win. Control my destiny.
gotta win.
Whereas
or top 6 finish. Really,
top 6 finish.
Yeah,
well,
your opponent doesn't matter. Like for you are playing against the board right now. All you've got to do, if you get a top 6 finish, you are guaranteed 8th, right? Yeah.
No, yeah. Well, right. Guaranteed.
Yeah, you're guaranteed 8th if you get a top 6 finish.
I mean, I was talking the playoffs and all.
Well, again, let's walk before we run, Jason. Okay. Right now, both of us are on a podcast because
last week I had a different opinion, but this,
But yeah, I mean, like I think that's the big thing. I think that's the big takeaway from this game is that, I mean, you do control your own destiny, certainly.
But it's not great for me. The top 6. I mean, I have the tied for the third fewest top 6 finishes, so it's not likely that it happens. But that would put me into I'm podcast safe territory, even though I mean, ideally where I would like to finish is 6th place, because then I would be 500 technically, right in the middle, and not 500 but in the middle of the pack, which is where I like to be. But I mean, for the Waving Cats, again, like we talked about earlier, it's not a huge deal. Like he could jump, technically he could jump into the 3rd spot, but he can't fall out of the 4th. So,
it's not
a big deal. It's much more impactful for the middle tier, of course, and being watched closely by everyone underneath bottom of the barrel, fat guy, Barenaked Hades. If I win, then they are, well, not necessarily out based on what happens with Cantankerous, at least for bottom of the barrel, but the others would be out. So,
by the way, I said bottom of the barrel only had to score 17 more than me. I was looking at Cantankerous. He has to score 50 more than me.
Oh yeah, that's not gonna happen.
So that feels a little bit better.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, this one is much more impactful on the last playoff spot.
Your range of outcomes too is crazy. You're 5 to 10.
Yeah, which is
that's wild. That is wild.
Yeah,
like you could be in the middle of the playoff bracket.
Would be a big,
or you could be in the middle of the consolation bracket.
Yeah. It is interesting to see, and I mean, I'm just hoping for something better than almost getting doubled up in points, like what happened to me last week by the Cardinals. So yeah, this will be, I mean, open for the best.
Again, I'm stressing. You're playing against the board, like you top 6 finish.
Just give me a point.
Doesn't, I mean, like that gives you
a true consolation.
Yeah,
that's what it would give me.
I think it would cement you as truly average too. I mean, that's quite frankly the most average thing you could do.
That is true.
Just get the
simply
one.
get the smallest, in quote, win possible, to avoid being potentially the biggest loser.
And you are one of 3 teams that does not have a win yet in this. That
is correct.
This rivalry week this year. And our next team also does not have one. Bottom of the barrel. Their range of outcomes, there's a little bit less there. point total also brings him down. I'm going to say that realistically, I mean, it's possible he could jump into 5, but realistically, he's a 6 to 10 spread there.
Jumping into 5 would be very, very difficult.
Very unlikely. I mean, it would be a Clantankerous loss, a Death Squad loss, a
Cardinals
my loss, and outscoring me by 50.
Yep.
There's a lot that has to happen there.
Yep.
But who's he got? So bottom of the barrel against the number one team in the league. Yep. Right. And we did the
McCaffrey Bowl.
This is the CMC. Right. Yeah.
Or the lack of. Yeah.
And I mean, he's got some guys on his bench that he's going to be able to slot in too. So I don't know. He's got a chance, you know? Well, he's got Josh Jacobs too. So isn't No, I'm looking over at bottom of the barrel. So he can bring Josh Jacobs up for Bill.
Yeah.
And then according to if Amon-Ra can actually go or not.
He's got Devonta
Smith, and he's got Terry McLaurin.
Terry, who had a big comeback.
Yeah.
14 targets. Yeah, I mean this is well, I mean, this is where earlier in the season you had bottom of the barrel showing up.
Just hopefully, Zay Flowers shows up and doesn't score 0.6. Because that was rough last week. That was not ideal. Not ideal.
Not ideal. Not for him.
So bottom of the barrel. Really for him, the big thing is going to be, I mean, if he can win and get the point, I think that he's.
Well,
man, he's got a tough road. He's got a lot that he has to root against because there's 2 targets there. So I mean, I think Clantankerous and you for him
6 or 7
would be the 2 targets.
He needs Clantankerous to lose and also me to lose, him to get all. Wait,
no, only one of you has to lose, and he's in if he wins. I mean, if he wins and gets
right. Either or, yeah.
And with Clantankerous, he has to outscore him by 17, which isn't undoable, but it's still
it's a good chunk of points.
Still a thing to do. But I think I honestly just kind of looking at his team right now, got the team to do it.
He's got the team to score the points.
Yeah.
But he has to. If he just simply wins, and I lose or get 1 point, and he only has 7 less points than me, so
right
could be tight.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, so he's much more rooting for your demise.
Yep,
that's a good point. All right, now we get to our long shots. Fat guy in a little end zone. So much has to go right for him to be in the playoffs, but there's a chance. So he's got a possible range of outcomes of 7 to 10. 7 to 10 are his range of outcomes.
Yep, and 7 is unlikely based on he has to win. I have to lose. He has no. I have to. If I even get 1 point.
Right, you have to lose and no point, and then he just has to. I mean, he still has the point. Does he have the points on you? Oh no, he doesn't. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I was looking. I was looking down.
No.
Oh, that's very unlikely.
It's huge. So I have to lose, and he has to get all 4,
and he has to outscore you by 80.
Yep. Well, no. If I lose, then he'll.
Oh wait, sorry. Yeah, he's 15. Sorry, I'm like all the numbers are starting to blur together to me right now.
They're all jammed in here. I know. Yeah. He gets top 6 and wins. I lose. He jumps into 7th, but he also needs, as everyone else does down here at the bottom. He needs the bottom of the barrel.
Everyone below, bottom of the barrel,
or only get 1 point. He needs Barenaked Hades to lose and not get in the top 6.
A lot of people are going to be rooting for Points to Latte Half Calf, Superb Owls, Troll Tolls, and Chinese Waving Cats this week.
Yep.
It's like,
It's true.
Everyone who's not playing them is on board with them winning.
Mhm.
Like it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. So yeah, that got a little end zone. Definitely a tough road to hoe, but it's we've seen crazier things happen.
We have.
I think probably the
That's
more
it.
likely thing, and the thing that I'm guessing Chuck's going for, is just to unseat bottom of the barrel.
Yep. Just
That's
to
a
get up in
much
8th. Yeah.
easier one, and really all that's going to take is a bottom of the barrel loss. And so if that can happen, Chuck can win. He doesn't even need
Well, yeah,
top
that'll
finish.
take it.
Finish.
Yep.
Yeah, he's got
But
it.
if bottom of the barrel loses and Chuck scores a lot, gets top 6, he doesn't have the points.
No, he doesn't.
So he needs a win, and
yeah,
he needs bottom of the barrel to lose.
Yeah,
that's his probably Yeah.
And who's Chuck got? Chuck's got draft day champion, so he is set up for it.
He's got a good.
He is
good matchup.
I mean, yeah, he is in line to make this happen.
The savior of draft day champion, Wan'Dale Robinson, is on bye this week, so the totem of his team, the pillar of his team is idle this week. So that's really just got to take the air straight out of draft day champion.
Yeah, but Bucky Irvin's back, and he's got guys who were great 4 years ago still on his bench. So
he does. I mean, yeah, this is the
2021 All-Star team.
2021 champions coming back for one more game,
one last ride
to try and keep them out of hopefully more than one last ride for him, because then it'll help him to keep him out of podcast territory. But
yeah, I mean that's the thing too, is that he's playing for nothing this week. To not be 12th, I guess.
Yeah,
I guess that's
the
it.
Seating down there is
right, but that's inconsequential. You're
just hoping to win one of those games coming up.
My prediction is both draft day champions and Mad Dogs, you're going to see some weird pickups this week. They're going to be looking towards 2 weeks from now and matchups there, and trying to get some guys ready to go for those games. All right, and then that brings us back to the Barenaked Hades, but I do want to just give them their bit of a spotlight. Everything has to go right for the Barenaked Hades for them to make the playoffs. Yep. It is possible. He has the points.
He does.
That's the biggest thing. The points are gonna help to carry him there.
Big difference.
He needs Malcolm Death Squad, bottom of the barrel, fat guy in a little end zone, to all lose, right?
Yep.
Do all of them have to lose?
Yep. Outright. Yeah.
No. Bottom of the barrel or fat guy in a little end zone can win and not get a top 6.
Well, yeah, right.
So fat guy in a little end zone can win, but not get a top 6. Yep. The other two cannot. So those 3 teams cannot be in the top 6. And then Barenaked Hades has to be in the top 6 and win. And then they're in that 7. Oh, and you have to lose. Sorry. Yeah. Malcolm Death Squad.
Yeah.
And not be in the top 6. So that's, yeah. Wow. Yeah. So, whoa. That's tough. There's a lot going on there. There's a lot of.
But look at. I mean,
it's a lot of the parlays that I lay right there. That's pretty much what it is right there. That's how they look.
This is perfect for Can we bet on this?
Fourth and 99. Let's see what happens.
This is the Barenaked Hades makes the playoffs is the last leg of your parlay.
What do you think the odds on that would be?
What, like plus 4,000?
Yeah, I think
plus 3,000. Might be a little high.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. Plus 2,000 plus.
Probably plus 3,000
to 2,500.
Probably plus 3,000. I think that's what I'm going to go with.
But it's one that you would say. It's one that you would look at the analytics and you look at the underlying numbers and you'd say, I feel good about that as the last leg of my parlay with just a couple of bucks.
No. That's the part. The parlay is all of the losing and winning. I would not put that on a parlay. Oh my god, that would be awful.
Yes, you would.
Yeah, I would. You're right. The end dollars would entice
Definitely
me,
would.
and I would dream about the things I would do.
That's the one that would pump up the number to the. Oh man, I'm gonna turn this $5 into like $27,000. All I need is Barenaked Hades to make the playoffs.
It's the dream. It's the dream. So we have talked enough about Mad Dogs and Draft Day Champions in their respective, or actually, I guess Mad Dogs we didn't really talk about. He's going against Superb Owls. We don't need to talk about him because it's not interesting and nobody cares and nothing's going to happen with
it doesn't
him.
change anything.
I would
maybe some pride.
Again, though, I just to point out, top 6 finishes, I feel like is a pretty good indication of the health of a league, right? You have 4 people who have double digits, right? So you have, 3 10s and an 11. That's incredible and unreal. And like those guys are just putting up numbers like crazy. You look at the rest of the league, 5, 7, 4, 6, 4, 5, 4, 1. And then Patrick.
Yeah. I mean, and look at the average points too. Like 2 are in the 130s, 2 are in the 120s, and the next highest is 110, which is 111, sorry, which is you. That's just a huge drop off.
Oh, I feel that's nice. I'm the top tier of the second tier. That's great.
That is correct. Yeah.
Isn't that exciting for me?
Upper middle class, I believe is.
That's right. That's where I want to be. It's striking distance. Yeah, but it's going to be it's going to be a fun playoff race. I think it's been a very solid season. Very competitive. Some weird stuff has happened for some people, but again, I'm just going to point out I really think our scoring system has made this kind of more indicative of the strength of teams, but also 2, it's just made it's more fun. Like we would have been closed out. We wouldn't have been doing anything this week. This week
pretty much
totally boring.
Like one thing can happen,
right? And this one, there's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of excitement going into this week. I mean, like I just think I think we got a solid product here. So,
and I was just looking at the waiver money left, bottom of the barrel. Did not spend a single dollar on the waiver wire, and yet here they are sitting. Aside from the 3-game losing streak, have a chance to make the playoffs.
Yeah,
squeak into the playoffs. May I add? But
I'm going to say too, just congratulations to him. Like announced his departure from the league, but he has remained an active owner. He's put teams on the field. Things haven't necessarily worked out for him, but we're gonna miss him. But I do appreciate that he didn't just say I'm leaving and then kind of leave his team to go. Like he put the effort in. And I don't think Ken's ever been a big waiver wire guy anyway, like a big fab guy.
He just drafts well,
Yeah. And so no, but good for him. And who's he playing this week? I'm rooting for him. Am I rooting for him this week? I'm not rooting for him this week. No, sorry, Ken.
No.
But I am rooting for I would like to see him potentially in 8th place. So that we don't get into questions about podcasts next year. Only one person.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. That is true. Yeah. Yeah. And I would also like to say, I would like to say, Clatankerous, great addition to the league. Vocal in the chat, some good zingers, good content. Just what can you say? Good first year. Maybe, and it looks like he's in a good spot himself, very good spot himself, to make playoffs in his first season. So,
I would agree too, and I just want to echo it because Tank has definitely rounded out the league nicely, and has added to the level of of discord, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
within
Yes.
the league. And it has been fun. It's been often off topic from everyone this year, by the way.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And occasionally on fantasy football, but I think that's what all of us love about the league, is that it doesn't have anything to do with whether we win or lose. It has to do with connecting and having fun and just being around each other, even if it's virtual.
I mean, one more vibrant thread woven into the tapestry of the Dell Legends Fantasy Football League. So thank you, Clitanchris.
All right. Well, I'm Shane. He's Jason. This is the Irish goodbye. Goodbye.
Good luck to some of you. Definitely not all of you.